Hello everybody, and welcome back to more Call of Cthulhu. I am going to continue where I left off, which was being attacked by a painting. Wasn't the best of times. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what to do about it. I won't skip it, just in case somebody wants to see. I remember it all too well. They should have made him like drool on his head. I feel like that would have really added an effect to it. And then he could have used it to keep his hair in place. Because every time he gets in a little bit of a crisis, his hair just gets so messed up.
Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Ooh, that thing's in here with me. Did it see me though? It did not see me. It doesn't help that I ran into the wall.
What the hell was that? Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Let's do some ducking and dodging. Okay, I don't think that was the right one. It's not magical enough.
What the hell was that?
It looked like it would be pretty magical to me, though. That looks boring. That looks dumb. Can't really tell what that looks like. It's very dull.
Damn. This dagger looks different.
Oh, where is it exactly? Did I actually do it? But call me, you damn beast. The hell is happening to his hand? Stab it.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
Do you really?
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
And if you give me this information for...
The creature. This dagger was the only weapon capable of pushing it back. If Hawkins was trying to get rid of this shambler, she might have made contact with Drake. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.
Spunky Brewster. Chapter 7 already?
Where is the bookseller?
Okay. Should I be looking at all this?
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
So we're just stealing books, huh? There's no way we're paying for that. We don't even have money.
An old diary.
The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to this voice in his head because it holds the truth. Who is this voice in his head? Who's this pastor? And why do we care? Ooh, the history of Darkwater. This place is like kind of gross. I haven't looked at this. So I have 4 available. Let's see, what's my medicine at? She's sure is going slow. This guy planning on building a flying machine?
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then?
It looks like he was shoeless.
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
It's very dark back there.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
A big book. Is there more to be seen? Oh.
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Okay, a page seems to be hidden here. It is possible to read. If somebody finds these memories or memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity and sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its content into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents, and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer from your actions.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer in press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor that date of the date of the robbery coincide with the last of the Hawkins trips to Cairo. Should that be off to Cairo? It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. What does this thing look like anyway? So there's supposed to be something else hidden in here? Oh, there it is.
What a strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
What benefit do we get from it?
Arkham editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection?
You gonna keep saying that?
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
That is very obnoxious.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there an 8 on that thing? There is an 8. But how would I know what one's first?
Things are not looking good. A kind of chalice. The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion. Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Was there a place to put them?
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
This collection of catalogs and classifies creatures that I have never heard of, divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as a reference work of bestiary of the myth, without giving details of the mythology to which it refers. Its pages are covered with phantasmagorial illustrations. Where is there a place that I can listen to these cylinders? I sound nothing like that. Here we go.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Queen has little protection.
I don't know anything about chess. Doesn't help me.
The Chalice of Knowledge. Queen has little protection. Drake talked about a particular volume.
Yeah, it was 9.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
Oh my god, you're
Drake
like a
talked
broken
about
record.
a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about? Drake talked about a particular volume.
I mean, he said 9. I feel like he said 9.
I finally understood that we were only dear friend. I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Yeah, there's not even 9 there. So, like, where would it be? I'm really starting to despise this bookstore.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
I gotta look up what Roman numeral number 9 looks like, because I don't know. It's IX. I did not see anything that looked like
What
that.
did Drake say
Oh,
about
there
this
it is.
collection?
Okay, a collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and the works on esotericism and the supernatural. So, if this is a clue, I just don't understand what the hell the clue is.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
I mean, it's not like you can skim through this stuff. So, I'm just gonna say maybe that means 9? But like, what does the goblet thing mean?
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
So is this how many red drops there are?
The chalice of knowledge.
Five.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the answer. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Okay, so 5, 4, 9. That's what I'm guessing. Maybe 9, 5, 4. I'm gonna say 9, 5, 3. Oh, 3, 5, 9. I don't remember what the order was. No, it would have started with 9.
The Queen has little protection.
I feel like this is unfair because I don't understand chess. Well, it's clearly not that.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed.
The chalice of knowledge.
Okay, let's count them from the edge here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail.
So maybe I was just wrong with the number.
And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
This is rough. Okay.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian, I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse.
The chalice of knowledge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5. Okay, so that's the first thing he talks about. So why am I always assuming that it's the... I never ever chose this as my first option. I'm gonna assume the queen is at the end there. There's 3 things. And then that book was 9, so I'm doing 5, 3, 9. Oh my god. That was harsh. So what the heck is happening now? Am I going inside of a book?
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
Show me his file.
That's not possible.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told. After inhaling chemicals.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down. His skin losing its color. His body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not
You
with
don't
Captain
recognize him?
Fitzroy.
He looks like every other guy
I
in
think
the
he
game.
works for Miss Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky.
Gross.
Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. 30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you
Dr.
find?
Fuller is a nut.
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
Why is everything my job?
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
He's a fish.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations, and this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not
Ask
here.
the good
Dr.
doctor.
Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients, provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
I've seen suction cups on his fingers, his falling body temperature, his dehydration. Had I only read the report, you know what I would have concluded, Doctor.
Do I? Tell me anyway. I'm curious.
He's no longer human. These are the attributes of an animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps.
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For
This guy's
this
a
man
jerk.
and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a
Guy's
threat?
making... Yeah, it was a
What
threat.
did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office. What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
So I'm the lady doctor now, not an investigator. How does this work?
The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
It's so unfair.
What the heck is talking?
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time. So every time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
Can I make water come up?
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly. It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
And that's gonna be to my benefit, I suppose. Just looks like a police station.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
Oh, you'll speak to me with a better tone than that, Mrs. Donovan.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
Wherever I
Dr.
damn well
Colden.
please.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
You're creepy. With your creep face. How can I distract her? Can I get her to, like, yell at that girl? I need to do something with the pipes, I'm assuming. That was my clue. Who's this guy?
Let's hope I can go through the administration office.
That's a no-go. Can I wear your hat, sir? No.
The operating room is never accessible after an operation. This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
Dr. Colden, we need you at once in Dormitory B.
What is the problem?
Mr. Evans seems to be having trouble with his IV.
I'll see to it right away.
And the family of Mrs. Harding is asking to see her medical file.
I'll never understand why it's so hard to see patients' files around here.
Rules are rules. See, with Dr. Fuller, he's in charge. Anyhow, they're still waiting, and I don't think they'll leave until they get what they want.
Understood. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. A man has been brought up from the basement.
Oh. What state is he in now?
You should go see for yourself, Doctor.
Great. He's... That sounds really fishy.
Dr. Colden. Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination.
Chop chop.
His binds left bloody wounds. He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
Those basement brutes tied him up too tight, and now he's hurt.
I keep trying to heal his wounds, but he reopens them.
Do you have a diploma as a nurse?
Excuse me?
So take care of this man.
Ooh, she called you out on it. Do your damn job. That's what you're supposed to do. You sleeping? Got some free stuff here. Geez, hospitals really sucked back then.
She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
Well, that means nothing to
He
me.
broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Ah, the whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back.
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
Fascinating. Hey, look at the same guy is right there.
Hay fever. What's he doing here?
Hey, you. Get out of here.
Doctor, please. My chest.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Life saved. Just making the round, fellas. No, that's that guy. I got so preoccupied saving lives.
I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan?
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
Oh well.
Do you have time to be
We won't have to
gossiping?
clean for a while.
And just wait and see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show.
You'll get
We're
paid to
running out of this
gossip.
medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, and Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the moment. The door to the boiler room is locked. I have to get the key if I wish to get rid of Donovan.
Where the hell do I get it from? Can I ask her for it? Pardon me, but you have the key to the boiler.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays.
He doesn't seem any better. Get your work done faster.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
I don't know if what I said to them was true.
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
It looks nasty.
It's a quiet little town. Days go by, steady as ever. I wanted more for myself, but
I'm just gonna walk away from you.
Ethan,
Marie,
what are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
You're not here for treatment, right?
Am I so obvious?
Only to me. I know you worry about me.
I trust you. I'm happy to see you.
Me too, Ethan. Is that all?
Well, there might be something else. I'm not sure.
Tell me.
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
I don't know yet, but I will figure all this out. Everyone in Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh. There's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
So why are you sticking around?
Do you want something?
The key to the boiler room.
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patience.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
The door to the boiler room is locked. I have to get the key if I wish to get rid of Donovan. The doses prescribed by Fuller are far too high. We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks.
I have no idea where to get this key. And it's the key to everything. Bing, bing.
Watch out for the water, Doctor.
But I gotta take a grab when you're blocking it.
Thank you for your help, Doctor.
Thank you. Would you know where the key to the boiler room is?
Betty didn't put it back in its place? Well, she took it to lock the door.
I'll ask her. Thank you.
Who the hell is Betty?
I'll be going. The boiler room key is not in its place. Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him.
I think that you're needed in Block B, Doctor.
Doctor.
Dr. Colden?
Hello, Betty. I'm looking for the key to the boiler room.
What for?
To put it in its place. Perhaps I should do the same with you.
I beg your pardon?
I suspect you of having a little too much fun at Elizabeth's expense. But be warned, it could easily be you they will all be laughing at tomorrow.
You are right, Doctor. The key is in the dormitory office in Block B.
Thank you. I shall go fetch it. Mrs. Sanders?
What happened to her? She looks like a living doll. Is it Black B? The hell does that mean? Oh.
The key to the boiler room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait.
That old hag. Run into a bush on the way just for the sake of doing so.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
Okay, well... where am I supposed to get that from? I see a lot of things, like, right on the ground here.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest.
Maybe the kitchen would be the place to go. If I can figure out how to get back there. The heck is this room? Oh, I actually cleaned it. Oh, here we go. Committing crimes. Stop me. I'm gonna close this while I do it.
I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
Dr. Colden, might there be a problem with the water?
I was about to mention it. It seems it's been cut off yet again.
I can't take this, Marie. I feel I'm gonna burst.
It's not your fault if we have defective plumbing.
And yet, I'm the one who gets punished because I'm gonna have to square off with that annoying old witch. Courage, Elizabeth. Here we go. And hold your tongue this time.
Why? What did you say last time? Did you actually call her an old witch?
Mrs. Donovan?
I'm busy. Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
At last. The missing files must be hidden here. Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle. I've unlocked something.
Oh, I did that
Patient
totally by
files.
accident.
I was right.
So did I get everything I needed?
The Stendhal syndrome. Of course. This is where Fuller found his diagnosis for Francis Sanders.
Conclusions. Session number 17. Patient? Sarah Hawkins. The patient appears to have finally accepted the illusory nature of what she calls the mythos. It goes without saying that these peculiar delusions are the price that comes with her exceptional gifts.
Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah Hawkins?
At first, I presumed that her blood was the key. But I found nothing to explain Mrs. Hawkins' abilities.
She has abilities.
The poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
Then James came, irate that Charles was keeping secrets from him. I presume that he will try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
It is fortunate that I had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings. In the meantime, they must remain hidden in plain sight.
Of course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection.
So why can she do this too?
I must go back to the basement.
This basement's yucky. That doesn't look like a good thing. Why is that there?
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could count on your scientific curiosity. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
Uh-oh.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly. Talk, filthy thief! Oh, I swear I'll shoot!
Take a minute to look around. Everything points to Charles Hawkins.
He's dead!
No. He was here for a very specific item.
Oh, no.
The book. Why was it in the safe?
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
How foolish of you. Now you won't be able to escape his will. What did it show you?
She went into Fuller's office. She was looking for Sarah Hawkins' corpse.
Sarah Hawkins, you say? Let's go back to the start, shall we? Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She was at the Riverside Institute. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait! No one knows the occult better than me. You might need my help.
All right. All right. I might need you after all.
Perfect. Let's meet later at the Hawkins mansion. Now go! Rescue the doctor!
Thank you, Drake.
Ooh, we're really zooming.
I pray that Colden is really here and alive.
I'm going to call it for the night. I will be back tomorrow with more Call of Cthulhu. Thank you for watching. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Bye.